What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to BurghTakes for episode 7. I'm your host, Caleb Everline, joined by my two co-hosts, as always, Miles and Logan. How we doing, fellas, this week?
Amazing.
Before we dive into all sports Pittsburgh, I wanted to talk about some tweets that I saw on Twitter over this past weekend about the ticket prices of Pirate games. Cody tweeted out that the Pirates rank 7th in cost of ticket prices, which is absurd to think about. I think that plays a role because of a lot of fans probably still don't believe in this team and won't pay insane prices until the team proves them wrong. Just my guess. I did not know this at all. 7th ranked costs in ticket prices is absolutely insane. The only time I think about when PNC Park is actually like bumping is when there either is a promotion night or opening day or like firework night, all of that, or if we're playing a good team. That's insane to me. I don't know what you guys think. I've been to a couple games. Obviously, I haven't paid for those games, but
Yeah,
my dad takes me, so I'm not really dealing with the prices. But just thinking of 7th ranked, top 10 in the league in pricing is absolutely absurd.
well, yeah, I completely agree, and I honestly also think it's like kind of absurd to ask us to fork over the dough when they've really shown that they aren't worth it in the past couple of years. I mean, of course, it's like we look better this year, but it's like, does that really mean you need to jack up the prices because you signed like a couple good free agents and all of that? Like, no. I mean, especially like to be honest, I haven't really looked at the ticket prices because of how bad they are. I can't imagine them on Skenes Day whenever we're at home. Like, it's just, I know that they jack those prices up, and it's like, why would you do that for that? Like, it's like because they know they're gonna pay that. But I mean, wouldn't you want more people in the stadium seeing your top guy? Like, I feel like those high ticket prices drive people away.
And you brought up schemes. The whole reason this ticket prices topic has been under fire recently, and it's why I included it in our topics this week, is because Skenes Day, not this recent one, but the one before, only drew 13,000 people. And obviously that's not great for a Skenes Day.
That's bad.
And it drew this dialogue over online. I don't know if you guys saw it, and we can dive further into this. Whether or not Pittsburgh truly is a baseball town. And obviously that's something that is to deal with this ticket prices, and that's why I feel like it's more fair to talk about it as a ticket price issue and not a culture issue. But that's also been a real issue that's been talked about online over these past couple of days because the attendance has not been great. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts on the culture.
No, to get in, is Pittsburgh a baseball? Yeah, I mean, is Pittsburgh a baseball town? No, we're not.
Really?
No,
Because a lot of people were saying
football.
yes. I actually agree with that. I was going to come on here and say yes, we're a football town.
I mean, the last time we've seen this much excitement was in 2013 when we went to the playoffs, and that was the only hype we really had. Yeah, there's a lot of hype right now because Skenes, we have the best pitcher in the league, but we haven't proven anything yet.
Well,
Until we prove something, then I could say, hey, maybe we are a baseball town, but I think we're definitely a football town at heart.
I completely agree with both you guys that we are first a football town. That's been the team that everybody has supported. That's like the original team. And I like that you brought up 2013-2014 because to me, I believe that, like, obviously, yes, we're a football town, but I believe that season obviously shows that we get behind our teams. Like, we get behind the teams whenever they are performing. Like, I mean, obviously we're fair weather fans. Like you know, that's basically what I'm saying. But like, whenever they're good, the people will show up. Is what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, so we're not a baseball town, but like when we are good, people will show up and we will support. And you,
and like
it's just No, you can go ahead, Caleb.
No, like I said, just when there's promotion nights or if there's something to look forward in a game, people are going to show up. But if there's nothing, if we're like we played we're going to get into the Colorado Rockies. We just played. They're not that good. Attendance was awful in the second game because Skenes wasn't on the mound. No one was on the mound, or I think it was the second game, but whatever game it was when Skenes wasn't on the mound, there was no one there because it's not a good. It's the two teams that are mid right now that aren't doing good, and that's the only time when fans actually show up. But ticket prices being high is just a layer on top of that on why probably fans aren't going.
I think
But
also
going
just
for
like
yeah,
I'm sorry, I just want to say also like maybe to put a final point on that. I feel like also like just the amount of disappointment that we've had has killed the baseball culture in Pittsburgh. You know, like I mean like little league stuff has been dying a little bit around here. I've seen like the mayor trying to uplift that again and like like resurrect the parks and stuff like that. So I mean I
yeah,
think it is down to a because we've just sucked so long that it's kind of been people are just kind of tuning out and we're losing that
mm-hmm,
culture.
100%. Another thing I saw on Twitter was Jared Jones. I'm gonna play this clip right here. I hope you guys can hear this.
Yeah, I'll throw a bullpen when I get back to Pittsburgh. No. Next question.
Yeah, so Jared Jones was asked. He said no to next question on working on the bullpen. Obviously, Jared Jones is going to be coming back soon. He's pitching one more game in Altoona, and then he should be back up with the Pirates soon. I think like a week or so. And that brings a lot of question on like what are the Pirates going to do? What is Don Kelly going to do? Is he going to do a 6 rotation? Is he going to send someone to the bullpen? A lot of thoughts are maybe Bubba or Carmen might hit the bullpen. My thoughts before I pass the question to you guys is I personally think Bubba will hit the bullpen. I feel like Bubba is more suited for the bullpen, especially just his pitching, and just he's more of a fastball type of guy. He can't find the zone as much, and I think a guy that comes in and it has a healthy arm and a rested arm that can come out of the bullpen in like 6 or 7 innings. That can get you maybe three innings to the ninth, into the ninth. I think that's perfect. Obviously, I think Bubba has a better ceiling than Carmen, but I feel like Bubba would be better suited. I think both of them will, but I personally would want Bubba to be in the bullpen, specifically because of his fastball and how he delivers that fastball. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree, but you pose it as a Don Kelly question, but it almost feels like it's a Ben Cherington question at this point. It feels like he just has total control, and it feels like Don Kelly's kind of just the man that's just playing like the day-to-day operations on the field. When it comes to the roster and stuff like that, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be Sherrington's decision, and with that being said, I think he's going to send someone down. I really think he's going to send Bubba down. I know we talked about him in the bullpen over these past couple of episodes, and you mentioned it now, but I don't know. I just don't think he's ready. In these past couple of starts has maybe shown it, and I've really done a little bit of thinking of his character's really there yet, because he got fast tracked and maybe his play isn't. I think he can use a little bit of time to develop in the minors, character-wise and play-wise.
For sure.
I agree. I think that like just watching his starts and just watching him out there, he's clearly an unfinished product, and like Miles said, that's probably a product of him being fast-tracked. So, like I did like the idea of the bullpen, but now that I'm thinking about it more, and I've seen the last game, especially against the Phillies. Was it against the Phillies? Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's time for him to go down. Especially like when the fastball is not there, and that's the thing you use the majority of the time, and you're not really getting that. It's time to send him down and get that developed.
Yeah, it's just hard for him to find the zone. I mean, you see for how many walks he gives. Like he just they just need to develop it more down in the way. Go for it.
Sorry, continue.
No, go for it.
I was gonna say you gotta send him down and work on that command exactly like you said with the fastball most importantly, and I would even say like it is kind of late to consider right now, and I don't know if he's ever pitched a fourth pitch, but like come on man, like throw a fourth pitch if you really want to be a starter. You got to throw more than 3. Like this shit's a little bit lame. Like you gotta mix it up.
I was gonna say it's really tough to get through the order like more than 2 times when you only have 3 pitches. Like,
and then when you can't really locate the zone with your fastball, it just kills you when you're behind the count. Almost every fucking pitcher you pitch, every pitcher comes up, he's behind the count, and you see it. Another tweet I saw, Miles' favorite bullpen arm, David Bednar, is 10 for 11 on save opportunities this season, and the Pittsburgh Pirates, we're going to get into it, have blown 10 blown saves as a whole already. Obviously, Bednar is having a good season, and it kind of brings up, like, what if we keep Bednar? What if, we didn't have, like, Soto and Bednar was kind of our guy? I don't know, thoughts on you guys, and I know, Miles, you're a big Bednar fan, and he's playing pretty well, so I don't know what you wanted to, if you had any thoughts on it.
Yeah. I mean, I just put it in there because I just felt like it was important to just give some recognition of what if we would be, but also at the same time, like I've been thinking about it more and more. I feel like I preach on this notion of what would be with Bednar, but like I feel like that's only a patch, and I feel like there's more issues with this team, especially in that bullpen. And like, sure, a high end closer would be nice, but like, what about the other innings? You got to get to there, and I don't think we have enough arms to actually even confidently get there.
For sure.
I don't really have anything to say.
Fuck Bednar. Going forward, Tommy Pham, by the way, update on Tommy Pham. It's just a whole operation with this guy. We're just always gonna have updates about him because he's just getting thrown around. But Tommy Pham has a minor league deal with the Orioles, so congrats to him. Hopefully he can stay on the team for a couple months and not get shipped out. So shout out Tommy Pham. Getting into the Rockies game, like I said that last episode, we're going into a Rockies series versus the Pirates at home. The Pirates in this game were at minus 330 when Skenes is on the mound today, and they were the biggest favorite price in a game since 2005. So that was interesting to see, and yeah, pretty much. Michael Lorenzen had the mound for the Colorado Rockies. He pitched 5 innings, 5 hits, earned 2 earned runs. Paul Skenes got the mound, pitched 98 pitches, went 8 innings again with 0 earned runs. Dominant performance by Skenes again. And the thing that it's crazy right now that he started with a 67 ERA and he is now at a 1.9 ERA.
Well,
and this is his back-to-back games. Well, no, we'll get to it, but yeah. We'll get to it, but yeah. At the time, he was at a 1.98 ERA, and this his 5th time in his career that he got to 8 innings. He went back-to-back starts, reaching the 8th inning. Some key performances I had in this game was Oneil Cruz went 3 for 4, Nick Gonzalez went 2 for 4, Spencer Horwitz went 2 for 3, and then Reynolds and Lowe also had an RBI as well. And Pirates won this game 3-1. And pretty much thinking about this, from this game, I had down that Skenes and Ohtani were pretty much in a battle for Cy Young. Ohtani, by the way, we haven't even mentioned Ohtani at all when it comes to his pitching, but he's absolutely dominating on the mound. I don't know if this, I don't know if this is updated or not, but he, at the time when I wrote these notes, he had a 0.97 ERA, which is absolutely insane. The dude can fucking pitch. He not only can he pitch, he can fucking hit too.
I don't know.
So he might actually get his first Cy Young
this year. His bat's not falling this year. If you look at his numbers, there's let's see what he's doing on the year now. 258 and 7 home runs. Yeah, I mean, Brandon Lowe is like about 50 times the hitter he is this year.
Yeah, you're right. But he might actually win his first Cy Young this year.
True.
And pretty much I think Skenes and Ohtani are both in the air with that. And also, Christopher Sanchez is also in that conversation. There's a lot of guys in that conversation for the Cy Young in our division. Going into Game 2, Rockies versus Pirates again, Jose Quintana got the mound. He went 4 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. And Mitch Keller got the mound, an absolute bombshell for Mitch Keller. He went 5 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 strikeouts. Went through 4 perfect innings, and then it just completely teared apart in the 5th inning and not really a good show. Henry Davis also showed out his arm in that game. He threw out a put out to third base in the 8th inning, which was pretty nice to see him using his arm. Some key performances I have. Ryan O'Hearn went yard again. Brian Reynolds had a 1 RBI, and Konnor Griffin also had a nice hit for a double that brought in a run. And again, pitching is struggling all the way up to Keller. They couldn't really get the bats going this game. And by the way, Don Kelly in this lineup, Konnor Griffin was slotted in 2nd in this lineup. He's usually slotted always 7th. And then Brandon Lowe got all the way back down, so they pretty much flip-flop Brandon Lowe and Konnor Griffin. Brandon Lowe was now in the 7th order, which is pretty weird. And he always just does this, like every random games where just the lineup is completely just not familiar at all from future games. And then Rockies, by the way, won 10-4. And we talked about the Don Kelly situation where like he just makes adjustments for no reason. Just randomly. And I never understood that. I don't know your guys' thoughts on that, but I always see that randomly when I look at the lineup. I'm like, well, it's usually Cruz, this, and that, and it's just not that every game. Which we talked about it. Maybe they have to do some few adjustments when it comes to their bats because sometimes when it gets in clutch scenarios, they can't really pull through. So maybe that was kind of the thought process, but I don't know your guys' thoughts with these adjustments.
I don't know. I just don't think they know exactly. Well, before I say what I was going to say, I mean, I also don't think this lineup is really like constructed to have like an everyday set order. Like, there's a lot of guys who are set to be platoon. You know, whenever I look at this lineup, I mean, there's really O'Hearn, Lowe, like Gonzalez, like Cruz. Like, there's only a few set in stone starters. Like, a lot of the guys I feel like you might sit versus certain matchups. So, I don't know. I mean, I feel like, yeah, it is a little bit of like weird to see. Like, some days you'll see guys playing even out of position. And it would be nice to see some consistency, but I don't think it's necessarily out of what I would expect just because, like, there's no star power on this team.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I understand the adjustments a little bit, but I totally agree with your point, and I feel like that's what's going on. Just trying to figure out that core piece and where to put everyone, and they clearly haven't found that out yet. Going into Game 3 of the Rockies, the last game, Chase Stonelander only went 1 inning, 5 hits, 3 earned runs. This was a bullpen game for us. Mason Montgomery had an inning, gave up 0 runs, 3 strikeouts, solid first inning from him. Evan Hiss also got a mound visit as well. Carmen came in. We didn't give up any runs until Carmen came in. He went 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, and Carmen couldn't really keep the shutoff for us. Pirates bats were all over the Colorado Rockies in this game. Ryan O'Hearn went 3 for 4. Another home run from him in this series. Konnor Griffin went 2 for 4. And Eddie Rodriguez was first start since I don't even know when his last start was for the Pirates, but he came in, went 2 for 3, 2 RBIs. Because of Joey Bart injury, they called him up. And Jared Triolo, I don't know if this was his first game back, but maybe it was, but he also went 2 for 3, had an RBI. And then Cruz also got an RBI, and Brian Reynolds also got an RBI. And Pirates win 7-2, and we take the series 2-1 in Colorado. Any thoughts on the Colorado series?
I just think what?
That's all I really think. I just think that's just what we should have done. The 2 and I mean, we shouldn't have swept them. I think Mitch falling apart is really what gave them the win that game. But you know, we predicted 2-1 against them, so we got it.
Yeah. I mean, besides the Skenes day, I'm really worried about how they performed. I mean, Mickey Moniak's on an absolute heater right now and is one of the best hitters in the MLB, but like, I mean, not necessarily a really good lineup. I mean, it is the Rockies, and they kind of lit up Carmen and Keller, that was a little bit weird. So bullpen played a little bit better than, maybe recent series is, and maybe like that Giants series, so it was a little bit of a bounce back, but obviously not great. Probably not as confident and as an emphatic series as we would have wanted to see against like a bottom tier team.
Yeah, for sure.
We didn't really look like we were in control at any point, like in any of these games. Like it didn't look like we were dominating, like how I really thought we would have. And like the only real game that we were, Skenes looked good, and that was probably the only one that was like our best. He was obviously our best start. Is what I'm trying to say.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get a guy that goes 8 innings, I mean, come on, that's a gimme. Like, you have to get runs on when Skenes is pitching, and we did, and obviously we got the win. Going into the Philadelphia series, we played the Phillies for 3 games. Aaron Nola got the mound, went 6 hits, 6 earned runs. He only went 3 innings. We got the Nola pretty quickly. Braston Ashcraft also got the mound. He went 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. And then we just gave it up to the bullpen after that. And it was a mid-game. It was an okay game for Ashcraft, but like we kept saying last episodes, that Pirates cannot keep leads. Montgomery, Soto, Santana all gave up runs. And the Pirates lose 11-9, toughest loss by far this season. By the way, Pirates were up 6-0 in this game until we fell apart in the 6th inning, and it just went hell loose. Soto couldn't fucking find the fucking... couldn't find a strike, pretty much. Jesus Christ. But some positives from this game, and also Santana also couldn't do shit either. He gave up 2 earned runs, so did Soto. But some positives from this game, though. Brandon Lowe did have 2 home runs. He has 13 home runs on the season, totally from today. And Oneil Cruz also went 2 for 4. He had 2 RBIs. And Ozuna also went yard again. He had a home run. He went 1 for 4, 2 RBI, so good for him getting a home run. But Pirates just can't. We can't keep leads. We keep talking about it with his bullpen, and I feel like down the line, if we want to be competitive at all, we need another bullpen arm. We need someone, because this was probably the toughest loss I've ever seen this team. We were literally up. We were up 6-0, then we were up 8-3, and then it just fucking fell apart in the 8th inning. Like we couldn't do anything.
I was gonna
And I don't want to blame the hitters. Like shit that we put up. Like I don't want to blame completely them. We were up fucking 6-0, and we had 8 runs total. Like you gotta do better than that.
Yeah. After a game like this, absolutely. After a tough loss like that, like it almost, we basically handed them the series. It felt like after this one, like all momentum was gone. And I mean, with knowing like Christopher Sanchez and Wheeler were going to be on the bump, like Nola hasn't been having a good season, and I know he has, like he has the pedigree in the past, but like this one felt like the most winnable one, and then just to lose it like this, it completely like it ceased all momentum and like gave them the keys.
Yep, 100%.
Wait, I want to say I agree with Caleb too that like you can't blame this game on the bats. I mean, sure they shut down like late in the game whenever it was extra innings, but that game was never supposed to go to extra innings. We were supposed to win that game in 9.
Yep, 100%. Like Miles said, game two, we faced the Phillies ace, Christopher Sanchez. He went fucking 9 innings, 6 hits, 0 earned runs, 13 strikeouts. And like we said, Bubba got them out in this series. He went 3 innings, 3 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 strikeouts. And pretty much the sum of this game was just Sanchez dominating the Pirates. And Phillies went 6-0. Obviously couldn't get the bats going. I mean, he went 9 innings. And Bubba, like I said, might be considered a bullpen guy or whatnot, but we'll see how that goes. Obviously, all of his starts have really not been that good. I mean, I think his last couple good starts were in the beginning of the season, and he's just not picking it up. He needs to pick it up, and we mentioned that. Going into Game 3, like we said, we're versing Zach Wheeler. He went 7 innings today. Gave up 4 hits, 0 earned runs, went 8 strikeouts. And Paul Skenes, all right, it wasn't too good for him. He gave up 5 innings, or he went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, only gave up 3 earned runs but he got out of the game, and Matson gave up 2 more runs, which gave him 5 earned runs total. And he went 7 strikeouts as well. So not a good day for Skenes. But at the end of the day, Wheeler had a good outing. Pirates couldn't really get the bats going. And in this game, I realized that Jared Triolo was playing right field today, so interesting to see that. And Phillies win the series 3-0. Pretty much just dominant from the Phillies. Special guest. Welcome
Miles,
to the podcast.
You wanted to come down and spoil it.
But what's your guys on the Phillies
floor.
series? Obviously, I feel like
terrible.
the game 1 definitely killed momentum for sure. And that's kind of my sum up for this series, like Miles said.
Yeah.
It
almost felt like
recently.
Oh, absolutely they do.
It's crazy.
In all sports. And if this felt like a Skenes start that really wasn't that efficient. Like, he's been kind of going back to efficiency, and I know we kind of really only listen to radio broadcasts of this game. But still, it just didn't feel like his top of his game. And I know they talked about it on the broadcast, maybe the fatigue at the end of the season, like the middle of the season, starting to get to him. I mean, like, this is like his 9th or 10th start, I think it was. So,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, gotta maybe think about, I don't know, throwing in a bullpen day here, which seems kind of ludicrous with the arms we have. But hey, I mean, it worked whenever we had Montgomery, starting a day. So I think we got to start to chop things up a little bit and mix things up, because obviously, even with the great bullpen we do, or lineup, or rotation we do have, it's not even really working. It seems like morale's really down, and it just, if we keep doing things how we do, it's not going to work. We need to mix some things up.
Yeah, I mean, when we look about our top 5 hitters the last 7 games, I mean, we have guys still batting over 200, like 260 in the average. Nick Gonzalez is still playing well. He's batting .33. Konnor Griffin also is still picking it up. He's almost batting 300. And Ryan O'Hearn also, like I mentioned, he had 2 home runs in the Colorado series. He is actually, today, we just realized that he is out with the quad injury for 4 weeks. So that's a very big loss. He's batting .294, 2 home runs and 3 RBIs in his last 7 games. So that's a big loss for the Pirates. And I think Jake Magnum is probably going to be taking a role in the roster. Now he's going to start playing more, and I feel like that's probably why we went with Jared Triolo in right field, which I don't even know he could play right field, but apparently he can.
He can play
and then
everything.
Horwitz, yeah, that's Don Kelly's guy. And Horwitz is also batting really well when it comes to average, and Oneil Cruz is still Oneil Cruz. But our top three worst hitters, Ozuna is still struggling. Still batting he batted a 105 his last 7 games. And Brandon Lowe, he does have, like I said, he does have 13 home runs on the season, but when it comes to his average, it has been creeping down a bit. He's at a 1.74. So yeah, that's kind of the wrap up for this series for the Pirates. Obviously, I wish Ozuna could start stepping up a little bit. It feels like he's just there and just not doing anything. It's kind of like, shit, well, what do we do? I know what's his name, Garcia from AAA. Him in this week, he went 4 for 4. I think he hit 3 home runs in the game. So it's kind of like, oh, maybe if we do get into a playoff push or whatnot, if he's still playing good, maybe he could get called up and maybe play DH or whatnot.
That's what I was actually about to, not to cut you off there, even though I'm sorry I did, but Pirates, they sent Nick York down, and before Tuesday's game against St. Louis, there will be a call-up. So there's a very good chance it is the password. It might not be him.
Yeah.
It could be. I know a lot of talks were that Valdez guy or Mitch Jebb or
He's playing well, Valdez.
Or I can't remember the other guy's name. Castiello maybe. He's an outfielder.
Yeah.
That's like 230 from AAA. But there's a lot of moves they can make, and I wouldn't be surprised if you talk about him as a playoff push. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him up this week with how hot he's been playing.
100%. Going into the next week outlook, though, some of the teams we're going to be playing. Cardinals are back up again for us. The Blue Jays are back up with us. I think they're pretty hot right now, but I could be wrong. But then we're all playing another hot team. I don't know if we'll get to the next episode with this, but the Cubs are up next right now. When we look into the National League Central, Cubs are 29-18 right now. They're still rolling. Brewers are still rolling. They're 26-18. And Cardinals are also they're rolling as well. They have 27 wins and 19 losses. And the Pirates are still mid with the Reds right now. We're 24-23. Same with the Reds as well. They're 24-23. So we gotta start winning series. Like I said, we gotta start winning games. Or the Cubs, Brewers, and Cardinals, they're just gonna roll off and. You know what I mean? Just take control of this National League Central.
I think there's still time for movement. Obviously, it's still we're getting there in the season, but we're not done yet. But I think that this picture that we're looking at right now with the Cubs, Brewers, Cardinals, Pirates, Reds, I feel like that's going to be what it might consistently be. I think you might see some switches in 1 or 2 between the Cubs and the Brewers, but I honestly, with the way this shit's going right now, it's just not looking that good. I mean, we're getting swept by the Phillies. I mean, we said they were a bad team, but they were getting hot. I think that was their 6th series they won in a row. And then, you look at the next week outlook, and then we got Cardinals, Blue Jays, and Cubs. That just looks like another tough stretch to me. I mean, and if it is a tough stretch, then we're gonna get a bigger and bigger gap. So, and we're already 5 games back.
Yeah, and like I said, we're losing Ryan O'Hearn. We're losing a big bat in our lineup, so I don't know how that's going to affect. So we'll see. What was your thoughts?
It's got to hurt some morale too.
I want to see who they call up, but I'm very optimistic, to be honest. I mean, Toronto's 21-25. They lack power. Their main guy has 10 home runs on the year. Vlad only has 3, surprising or not. Really not doing as well as people would have expected. I'm really looking optimistic for this Toronto series. Obviously, Chicago is going to be tough. But just to think very briefly on these series without getting, super in depth, I'm trying to, place on the schedule because now we know, Jerry Jones is, in the coming weeks here. That timeline almost looks like he'll be coming back, for that Chicago series, which I almost feel like isn't optimistic. Do you want to put him in there with a lineup that's red hot?
Yeah.
Which then, if you flex it to the next series, then he's going against former coach Derek Shelton or former manager Derek Shelton. So this next couple, few weeks, I think it is a few weeks where you have to throw in a bullpen day. They have, Keller, Majinski, Ashcraft, Chandler, it says scheduled. Maybe that last Chicago game, I don't know, throw a bullpen day, so you give Skenes an extra day rest, and he gets to start the next series as the main starter. You have 3 start off the front end of your rotation against a fresh new series. I don't know. I think Toronto should be something. Obviously, the traveling up there and St. Louis and going on the road is never easy, but I'm very optimistic about these series. I know you guys think it's a hard stretch, but I don't know. Nothing about these lineups really fears me or, what going forward. I just think this lineup needs a spark, and I think whoever they call up should bring that. And I also think Andy Rodriguez seems to be a fresh face that can really help out things.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't really know. I feel like they would just start Jared Jones no matter what. Just depends on how he feels. But I don't think they would look too deeply into not starting him because they're playing the Cubs. I would like to just see him play against the Cubs and see what he got. If he can go like 3 innings and then just go straight bullpen, I think that's probably I think that's 100% what they're gonna do. Especially a guy that's coming back from he hasn't pitched in since 2024. So
Yeah.
he's probably gonna pitch like 3, maybe 4 innings, just seeing how he is, and he's gonna have to work up his count again when it comes to pitching. So that's probably my thoughts on that.
Logan, anything to add?
Nah, not really with Jared Jones. I mean, I feel like they're going to do what he wants to do. If he wants to go against the Cubs, if he wants to start and get that, he wants to put his foot in the door with that, they're going to let him do it. Like Caleb said, he's not going to pitch that many innings. So, I mean, even if it is a day where it's like you could call that a semi-bullpen game, you know what I mean? Like, just get him in there, get his foot in the door. And, like, yeah, I think it's going to be his call whether they do it or not.
Which is crazy. That dude hasn't. I'm sorry. That man has not been proven at all.
No,
and we
but
talked about it early.
Yeah.
We talked about it early. Like, dude, if you're gonna get put in the bullpen, you're gonna get put in the bullpen. Like, don't fucking have your ego so high. Like, dude, you haven't proven shit. And we'll see. Maybe we'll be wrong. Maybe he will come back and be our number 2 starter. And he'll move up in that rotation. Moving forward, though, from Pirates baseball, Steelers had a lot of news going through. This past weekend, Boswell got a contract. They signed him for 4 years, and I think his contract was upworth of 20-something million. I believe he's one of the most efficient kickers in the NFL. He deserves all the money. I mean, the dude was almost our MVP last year for how many points he was getting for us. So I'm glad he's back. And then also, I don't know your guys' thoughts on there. You guys happy with the signing?
I mean,
Boswell?
sure, but like obviously it's an overpay. Like, I mean, it's a kicker. I would like to see how it all flexes out, but like,
Well,
I mean, you don't really need to spend that money.
he won us like 2 games last year, like by himself, almost. So,
But how much are kickers really worth? Like, how much? He's obviously the highest paid, right?
Not
Obviously.
that.
No.
It ties Brandon Aubrey, which like those are the
How much
two
is
best
his?
kickers in the league. I think it's like 7.5 mil is the what they get per year.
A year? Oh, okay. And he's
I
getting
think
what,
so.
7 mil?
I think that's what both of them get is 7.5.
both
They're
of them.
tied.
I mean, who else is a better kicker than Boswell other than him?
I just don't think it's about that. I think it's about like, I think you could spend a fraction of that, maybe like 40% of that, 30% of that 7.5 and get like a kicker who's just as good. And like maybe invest that money so you're not stuck in the position where your kicker is deciding games. I mean,
Yeah,
I
good
think
point,
you
good
say
point.
he's deciding 2 games, and yeah, it's true. Legend of Boz. We love what he can do with his leg, but that also tells me the team ain't doing what they need to do to have these nail biting games.
I not deciding, like literally winning us the game. Well, he was the only one who scored. But I mean, you are right.
True.
That does show worse signs of us being dog shit than him being this good. So you know what? Yeah, you are right. I'll give you that.
Also, the NFL released this Thursday the NFL schedule. Steelers got their schedule. Week 1, we get to play the Falcons. Week 2, we get Patriots. Week 3, we get Bengals. Week 4, we get the Browns on Thursday Night Football. Then we go to the Colts. We get the Buccaneers. And then we do get that Paris game That was announced a little earlier before the whole release. There was rumors about it. We get the Saints in Paris. And then we got to go to the Browns again. And then we get the bye week. And then on the turn, we play the Bengals, Eagles, Broncos, Texans, Jaguars, Ravens, Panthers, Titans, and Ravens. Logan, I wanted to go to you. What you think our record would be, and what's your thoughts on the overall schedule of this season?
Well, so what I'll say is I think that this season, for having a first place schedule, this schedule does not look that hard to me at all. I mean, I always kind of get this feeling at the beginning of every year where I feel like we're going to do way better than we are, even though, it's inevitable. The 9-8 is inevitable. But I feel like going into this season with a new system and all this shit, Mike McCarthy heading it, Aaron Rodgers as our QB, I think that, there might be some growing pains in the beginning of the season. We might start out a little bit bumpy, start out a little slow, getting this new system, getting everything worked out. And I think that you'll see us in the second half of the season get a little bit of life, and we'll figure it out. But the other thing about the second half of the season, that is a tough part of the season. That is a really tough part of the season. I mean, you have the stretch of the Jaguars, Ravens. I mean, you have the Eagles, Broncos in there, Texans. I mean, all those games in a row. And so, I mean, it depends on how we are, but I could see a lot of those games go, not a lot of those games, but some of those games going our way. My final prediction is going to be 11-6.
Okay. Wow. When this first got released, I just was like, just straight up, just like, not even just counting, just going through each team, what I would think if we're winner or loss. And I got the 9. I also got 9-8, like you said.
Yeah.
Just looking at it and just thinking like what I would think would happen without even like thinking about Aaron Rodgers or anything like that. I did get 9-8. But like you said, the ceiling could be 11-6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm right in smack dab in the middle between you guys, 10-7. What intrigues me the most with this schedule is they play a lot of tough defenses. Like, to me, they play the Broncos, Patriots, even the Colts. Like, the thing that keeps coming out to me is they have this receivers core of, Pittman and DK stacked up, and even Jeremy Bernard, if we want to consider him. I think they have a roster that has the best corners. Like, they're playing Stingley and the Texans. They have Broncos and Surtain a week before that. And then they have Quinyon Mitchell a week before that. And then you go, and then the flip side of the schedule, they play Sauce Gardner, the Christian Gonzalez with the Patriots and A.J. Terrell with the Falcons. Like, those are some of the best corners in the league, all of those guys.
Yeah.
That's really tough, and I'm really worried about how our offense is going to do, especially with an Aaron Rodgers who's maybe isn't the most mobile. I think it is good that we have a more offensive-minded coach, but I don't know. I'm very, very worried about how it's going to plan out with these very tough defenses, and even if Aaron Rodgers can survive a whole year with being 40-some years old. What stands out to me, though, my last cliff note, is Week 16 when Kenny Pickett returns home. I'm very excited to see what he can do. If Bryce Young goes out, God forbid, I think he has some vengeance to rain in Acrisure Stadium. They gave him the late
game for a season. I mean, they gave him the late game for a reason. Late season game for a reason.
Yeah, I'm actually going to that game. I have a friend that's a Panthers fan, so I'm hoping Kenny Pickett actually gets to start, which would be hilarious.
I want to go to that game.
But the one thing positive about the schedule, we actually finally get a home game in actual Week 1, which is pretty nice. I saw that when I first looked at the schedule.
Second one in 12 years.
Yeah,
in the past 12 years.
We barely have any. Yeah, we're always on the road. But yeah, it's definitely a tough schedule, and I can look at it. I can look at like it on paper and be like, okay, we improved. Like, we got a wide receiver, we got a corner, we got, I guess, better offensive-minded people on the sideline. We got another good running back in Rico. I think Gainwell's definitely better, but he's still good. Overall, I feel like just we improved. Like, we got Jeremy Bernard. We got him from Alabama, another wide receiver. Roman Wilson doesn't have to play the third WR. And just overall on paper, I'm looking like, yeah, we're better, but like I don't know if it's going to plan out. If I want to be delusional, I think it will, but I don't know. But on paper, just any Steeler looking like, yeah, we definitely improved. We got corners that are decent. And I really like the safety we got out of the Bears. And I think our linebackers, Herbig, all of them. And I hope TJ Watt steps up this season. I hope he actually gets yeah, he needs to 100%. Or I bring to you guys also, I didn't write this in the notes, but like, do we consider trading TJ Watt if he has another like down year? I mean, we've seen him declining, and we see our rivals, Browns, Myles Garrett, he just continues to keep climbing and just being the most dominant guy on the field when it comes to defense. But you're like, what do you guys think?
I don't know. I mean, I understand that, and that's like been like a rising thing, but I just don't see the point of trading Watt. I mean, I feel like he adds too much. To me, I've been a big advocate of trading Highsmith. I feel like his ceiling is limited to like a Bud Dupree type, or like he's only limited to like, playing opposite of TJ Watt in this great defense. Like I would be fine with him gone. So that's my answer.
I don't think trading TJ is the answer. I mean, I said it last year, like when we were talking that I would want him traded because I was mad about the way he performed and everything, and like you said, comparing him to Myles Garrett, it's like in recent years, it's just there's really no comparison to be had. So I mean, it is tough. It is tough to be looking at like basically across the yard and seeing this guy and being like, damn, well he was this guy a couple years ago and he's not that anymore. But
yeah.
I mean, I think I agree with Miles. Like Highsmith, if he goes, I mean, I'm fine. I like Herbig. I think he can step up. And
I really like Herbig.
And also another thing about like, I know we rag on Omar Khan. I know we rag on like the Steelers front office and all of them, but they know how to pick linebackers. So I mean, if we lose him, I don't really think we're losing too much. Like I think of Spillane going to the Patriots. It's like, was that really that big of a hurt to us? No. I mean, Spillane wasn't even really that good for us. He really got... I mean, he was okay, but, like, he got good on the Patriots, so...
Yeah.
I disagree with that take, to be honest. I'm not, only the Robert Spillane one, not going to lie. I ride for Bobby Spillane. I think he's a great player.
He's been really good. Yeah.
I just don't like him.
But, like we said before, Aaron Rodgers finally signed Logan. He did it. He signed the contract. He signed the contract a couple days ago. But with this contract, though, he is getting a base salary of $22 to $23 million, up to $25 with incentives. Which, your thoughts for a one year deal for $22 to $23 million? I feel like that's a lot. I don't know what his contract was last year, but I believe it was around $12 to $13 million, which was reasonable, sure. But $20 million, like you talk about the Boswell shit and how he got like 20-something million. Aaron Rodgers, 22 to 23 million. What's your guys' thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, they even said he advocated for the raise. I mean, after that playoff performance, I find that very, very hard that he advocated and was able to convince ownership and, management of that. Very, very, I don't know, memory like a goldfish or something like that, where they just can't remember the long term. I think they've backed themselves into this corner without having any other options. So he kind of had all the leverage and was able to demand that $25 million, which is outrageous. We both probably all won't agree with that. We'll all say it's an overpay. That's just a waste of breath saying that. But I mean, what else can we do at this point?
Yeah, I think he got himself right into that big pay, like one final big payday. I mean, it's not like the biggest payday ever, but $22 million for one last year after you got eliminated by the Texans in such a shitty fashion. I mean, I don't really.
Well, thinking about it, like he probably wouldn't even have signed. Like if we didn't give him that much money, he wouldn't even have signed. So,
true.
I guess.
That's why,
yeah. That's kind of my main thing that I felt that I took away from it. Like he wanted what he wanted and he got what he wanted and he signed. And
do you really think that though? Do you really think he would have what do you think he would have done? Retired or signed somewhere else?
Yeah, he would have just retired. He wanted a certain number. He had to have had a certain number in his mind and be like, okay, if I can get this, I will go back and play football for one more year with the Steelers. Especially just knowing that I played with a coach like Mike McCarthy and whatnot. But if I had a certain amount of money, I'll play one more year. But I don't know. Maybe it's not about the money, but I know he's very personal about his own personal life. He does, certain things that aren't on the internet and whatnot, and he's very passionate about what he does off the field. You know what I mean? But I think money played a role for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it definitely played a role, but it just feels like it's I don't know, like a golden chariot, something like that. Send you off into retirement with, all that we got, the remaining cap space, if you will. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not like there's much that could have been done. Like the roster is pretty much done. Like the books are pretty much finalized. The rest of the money was pretty much held out for Rodgers and Rodgers only. Like, what would you gonna pick up? Like a special teamer or backup? Like, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's great for him to send off into the sunset with a nice contract. I'm not mad at it. It's not gonna have a long-term implication. It's not like it's like a 4-year or a 3-year deal or a 2-year deal.
But it also brings up the fact that, well, Rodgers is back. Mason Rudolph's QB2 right now when it comes to the depth chart right now. We just drafted Drew Allar. We also have Will Howard. And obviously you only can start 3 QBs and you have to send someone else to, like training camp or whatnot, like
Practice squad or just cut them.
Practice squad. That's what I was looking for. So it's like, I feel the fact that maybe, I've always said this, I don't really like Mason Rudolph, and I said that I think the other episode. I'm not a big fan of Rudolph. I feel like we should definitely trade him, get something from him, would like a draft pick or something. And I would love for that Will Howard and Drew Allar battle out for QB2 and whatnot, but I don't even think it's about that. I think it's just they need to learn. I hope they can learn from Rodgers and what he got, and I feel like Mason Rudolph should probably hit the door and leave. I don't know your guys' thoughts on who we should cut if we do cut anyone, or we just send someone to practice squad. But I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, I mean, I think carry them all through St. Vincent's. I don't know when the deadline I'm sure through preseason you got to get rid of one of them. I agree that it probably should be Mason, and I don't think you'll be able to trade him. Like, I think everybody has enough quarterbacks, and, like, I don't think you'll be able to get anything valuable for him just because he's not really, like, there's not, like, a ceiling there. Like, he's not a younger guy who you could trade and be like, oh, well, he might be something. Like, he's on the tail end. You're trading for a guy who will be a backup or a third stringer.
Well, the Browns like picking up a lot of quarterbacks, so maybe you could send him to the Browns.
True.
Browns like a lot, and that was a joke, but yeah, they do carry a lot of quarterbacks. I was just joking, but because they have so many quarterbacks. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Send them the Bengals. They always need someone for backup Joe. But no, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would honestly consider I don't know. I think Will Howard, you gotta at least consider giving him the practice squad. I don't think if you put him on the practice squad, will somebody really sign him? Do you guys think somebody would really sign Will Howard off the practice squad?
Oh, you think you want to send Will Howard to practice squad?
Almost, because I feel like nobody would probably sign him. Like, somebody probably might, but then you could always draft someone next year, and that class is loaded, and you still have Allar. I want to have the option of taking a QB next year when the class is stacked, rather than not having that option next year, or taking 3 young guys, which would be insane.
I get what you mean.
I don't know.
I mean, we haven't seen much of Will Howard except just him in college. He obviously couldn't play preseason, so maybe what if he plays good in the preseason? Then it's do you still send would you still send him just to practice squad? You don't think highly of him?
If he plays good in practice squad, yeah. I just don't think highly of him, to be honest. I think there's a reason he went in the 6th round. I think that Ohio State team, you look at the amount of stars that were on that roster, I think a literal potato could have played quarterback for that roster, and they probably would have still won the national championship. For sure. Seriously, I think Will Howard was kind of just the system quarterback of all system quarterbacks. Not that he didn't have a good career before that. He obviously was good enough to get the transfer over there. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just not the biggest believer in Will Howard. I think Allar is the superior prospect. Obviously, you could see the Pickett jersey, so my evaluation of QBs isn't the best. But I don't know. That's how I feel about it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I could see putting Will Howard on the practice squad. I mean, I kind of understand the perspective of like, oh yeah, if we go into next year and we want to get the next young person because that draft class is loaded, and then we go into the next year with 3 young quarterbacks, that might not be the best move ever. But in my opinion, it's time for Mason Rudolph to put the fries in the bag. I mean, it's time to call this shit over, man. He's not really good, man. It's like, yeah, he'll go out there and he'll be the backup, but it's like, at this point, is that really what we fucking need? I mean, I don't really think he's really adding any value.
I think if Rodgers goes down, who would you feel more comfortable playing quarterback?
I'd rather just play a rookie. I'd rather a rookie learn from. Sorry, you can go. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
But that's not the question. That's not the position we're in. We're not in the position to learn. We're in a position to win now. That's where the Steelers are built. Like, a lot of these guys won't be on the roster in 2 years, or let alone probably next time these guys win a playoff game. So, I don't know. I think you have to have a backup who, worst case scenario, can play if Rodgers goes down. And I just don't feel confidently that you can put Will Howard or Allar in that position and be in a win now team. I think the whole dynamic of this team and the whole outlook changes without a backup like Mason Rudolph, or a competent backup, or an experienced veteran backup, that is.
I still think you're thinking a little too highly of Mason Rudolph, Mr. fucking Head Den. I think no, and I'm not saying it. I'm not saying like anything, but I'm saying we are putting all the chips into Aaron Rodgers. If he goes down, we are fucked. That's what this season is. If he goes down, we are fucked. We are not winning anything else if Aaron Rodgers goes down. Like, I mean, I just would say it right now. I wouldn't be confident any of these assholes being our backup. I mean, I like them. I like aspects of these guys, but would they make me confident as a backup? I don't think any of them would really like tickle my fancy,
No, that's a good point that you say, Miles. Like, we are definitely. I didn't think about it. We are definitely a win now mode, but
no,
I still agree with Logan. It's just, if Aaron Rodgers goes down, it doesn't matter who's that backup. I just personally rather just a rookie just be able to take advantage of Aaron Rodgers and what he has been through his career, and teaching the young guys, the ropes a little bit. If one of those two guys are our future, you don't know if those guys are going to be QB1. Obviously, the loaded draft class next year, we don't know who's going to. After this season, we have no idea who's going to be our QB1. Absolutely no idea. I know that's too much to look forward to, but we've put all of our chips in Aaron Rodgers, and I feel like it's still 50. Like, it still hurts us, and it still improves. Like, it makes us a little better. But next season, we have no idea who's going to be our QB1. And I'd rather the rookies at least be able to be on the sideline during the season, and just be able to learn from Aaron Rodgers. But I get the point that you say, obviously if Rodgers goes down, Mason Rudolph, yeah, he's obviously more experienced, and he could win us maybe 2 games or whatnot. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it depends on who we play.
Yes.
But I don't like Rudolph. I've always never liked him. I hated, bro, he's been a backup his whole career. He's played with the Titans for a starter. He's been his backup his whole career. And I just don't like the guy. I don't really know what's about him. I don't know if it's the name.
Personally,
it probably is. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of him, and I just rather the rookies be able to learn off the veteran.
Yeah, I mean, but also my worry is like I say, if Rodgers does go down, like we've talked about, like one of those guys has to, like if there is no Rudolph, one of those rookies has to go in, and then they don't play well, then they have to face the noise. Like, that's not an ideal situation for Allar or Howard to get thrown into.
So
like,
you're
that's why I
saying
almost
you want
think
Mason
Rudolph
Rudolph
is like
a
Rudolph's like a buff. He's like a buffer.
At the end of the day, you're going to hear noise no matter what.
I can see that.
At the end of the day, you're going to hear noise. You're going to hear noise. Bro, we're the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're always going to hear noise. No matter what. Yeah. No matter what happens, you're always going to hear it. Dude, we say what we think without thinking, if that makes sense. Like, we do not give a flying fuck. We are going to say it how we want to say it.
Remember when we did the Gunnar Olszewski? Holy shit.
Yeah. Same shit.
Basically ran him out of town.
Yeah. I think either way, it's just if Aaron Rodgers goes down, like Logan said, it doesn't matter. We're fine. Like, the season's over. It doesn't matter. He's the guy. We put all of our chips in, and we gave him $22 to $23 million. If he goes down, it is what it is. Season's over. I'm sure if Rudolph does come back and proves our point wrong, and if he does wins us a couple games, sure. But at the end of the day, I don't even think that's even possible.
I agree.
But moving forward, anything else we want to talk about for the Steelers? Nothing? All right, I just want to make sure. Moving away, we didn't...
What were you guys' opinions on the schedule release video?
Yeah, it was pretty corny.
I didn't watch it.
All right, good.
It was pretty
How do you
corny.
not watch it?
I mean,
I haven't watched it. I'm not gonna lie.
if you're literally not from Pittsburgh, it's the shittiest video ever. It's like you wouldn't get any of that shit at all. Like, it's so boring.
I don't know. I think being
from
Pittsburgh,
Pittsburgh, it's boring as shit. It's like, okay, wow. The only fun part was at the end when it goes, "Oh my god!" That's the only good part. That was the only good part.
I gotta watch it.
It's
you just have to watch it, Caleb.
The one video,
Mike
I saw the one
McCarthy's
thing.
in it.
Yeah, he is. He's
Oh,
got
he's
the
big.
fucking chair.
He's big. He's very big.
They said, "Sup, coach?"
But I did see the Jaguars intro, or what's his name? Trevor Lawrence cut off all of his hair, by the way, which
No,
is
he
pretty
didn't.
fun. Yeah, he did.
It was a wig.
No, he
It was
didn't.
a wig.
Fake? Oh, it was
my
fake.
fucking god! There's no way.
You're joking. No,
There's
It was a
There's
wig.
no way. There's
It was
no
a
way
wig.
you
That
fell
was a
for that.
wig?
There's no way
It was
you
a
fell
wig.
for that.
I
Girl.
fell for-
It
wait,
looked like
seriously?
a wig from the fucking beginning. What are you talking about?
It looked real to me.
It didn't.
I didn't even dig into it.
It wasn't even
Oh,
the
I
same
didn't know.
color
It
as
was...
his fucking hair.
Well, I didn't think of that. It just looked like a weird cut, and it felt like it felt like it just fit him. I don't know.
No, it
A
did
weird
not.
cut and it looked like it fit him. That's nice.
No, it did not.
I didn't know that. Okay. No, that feels wrong. Okay.
Broke Taylor's heart.
But yeah, we're gonna end it off on that. But we're not gonna. I didn't really have anything about the Penguins this season. Obviously, we're in off-season mode, and the playoffs are still going around. The playoffs, by the way, are pretty interesting. I haven't been able to follow it too much, so I didn't really want to cover it because I don't have much knowledge on it. So we're gonna skip hockey this episode, and maybe future episodes. We could talk about when they get to the finals of the Stanley Cup. Maybe we could start getting into that and look into some of those games and give you guys some of our feedback on the playoffs and the finals when they get to that point. But obviously, bonus content this week. Starting off with the NBA, we heard that the Kia MVP finally got announced today. Shea got the nod. He got the MVP. One of the most efficient players when it comes to stats. I want to hear your guys' thoughts because I actually should put this up. The NBA voting results. Shea, bro, he won in fashion. Not even close.
Yeah.
I know some of you guys thought maybe Wembanyama should have probably won it. Maybe Luka. I don't know your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think? I personally felt, I just felt like Shea was the best player in the league, and
Well,
I don't know. I just felt like he was very efficient, and I don't like him. But the dude can't be. No one can guard him. Logan.
I know I said that I think Wemby should win it. I mean, I probably was wrong in that. I mean, looking at this other shit, I think Jokic should have won it. I mean, SJ won MVP. He didn't lead a single major stat like points per game, assists per game, any of those. How the fuck can you be the MVP when you didn't lead a single major stat like that? And Jokic led like 3 out of the 6, or like 4 out of the 6 of them. So for him to only get 10, or is it 10 first place votes compared to his 80 or 90, 83. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. It should have been way closer. If you're going to give it,
It should have been way closer. And also the thing that I like to think about is, I mean, I know it's not really what the award is, even though the name is the most valuable player award is like Jokic doesn't have the help that SGA does. And also, like we talk about it all, that we talked about it last episode, the second unit of Thunder is insane. Like, I really genuinely have a thought in my mind. If SGA wasn't on the Thunder and they had AJ Mitchell running the point, they'd probably still be a top 3 seed in the West.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
how is that? I mean, like, where's the voter fatigue in this guy? Like, is he still really the most valuable player? Yeah, he has the best, consistent numbers? Like, he plays every single game. Like, that's really basically what you can give him.
And
I don't know. I don't really agree with it.
No, I completely agree with you too, because that OKC team is 13 deep. Any one of those players could be on a starting lineup and on some of these other like teams in the NBA that are at the bottom of the league. And so, I mean, also too, it's like when SJA doesn't perform like in some of these games in the playoffs where he's only scored like 10 points, the team wins anyways. So, I mean, is it really the MVP if the team can win without him having a good game? Or, it's like whenever Jokic had a bad game, the Nuggets were not going to win. But whenever SJA has a bad game, they could still win by 20. Like that, to Miles' point, you can't be the most valuable player whenever your team is so good around you that you don't really need to be a valuable, like this star, like above everybody else player, you know?
That's a really good point. Maybe I feel like Shea shouldn't have won it. But I don't know how much knowledge but on the NBA. I didn't follow too much about the season and the regular season, but that is a really good point. They're stacked. But going into the NBA playoffs, Knicks, obviously, they moved forward. We talked about that last episode. And the Cavaliers and Pistons is in Game 7 right now. Cavaliers, I believe, are...
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
Yeah,
Cavaliers are most likely going to win, which I'm excited about that. And then, obviously, the Spurs beat the Timberwolves in 6 games. We talked about last episode when Wemby got ejected and whatnot. And then next game, he came back. And I think he dropped like 27, something like that. Like, he went absurd.
Didn't hurt him.
And they just completely dominated the Timberwolves. Even when in the 6th game, I think they were up like 25-something points at the end. It was like 130 to something, 106. I don't know what. I think it was like 106, something like that. The Spurs are looking really good, and I know you guys were highly on them. They're actually going to be playing the Thunder, and that's going to be a really good matchup. On to that matchup, though, Jalen Williams should be back. He's able to return for the Thunder in Game 1. I'm not sure if they will do that, but Jalen Williams should be in that series some point.
He's gonna come.
He's gonna come back.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't look too much into it. I just saw a tweet about it. So that series is gonna be bonkers. And do you guys still think that the Spurs can pull it out against the Thunder?
Yes.
How many games do you guys think? What do you guys think are the key? If Wembanyama doesn't play good, do you think they're just screwed? Is it all dependent on Wembanyama to play good for the Spurs, or because for how deep the Thunder are?
I'm not even worried. He'll play well. No, going against Chet, he will play consistently every single game.
Okay.
It's Jalen Williams coming back that is really a scare for me because like when I think about it, they have great, they have Wemby to guard Chet, like I said. They have, Castle who can guard Shea. They have, Vassell who can even guard the 2 or the 3. They have Keldon Johnson, but like there really isn't a guy who I think can guard their wings really well enough. So that just really worries me. I'm gonna say 6 games for the Spurs. Thoughts, guys?
I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I think that a lot of this is going to come down to, we all know when, like you said, Wemby's going to go off on Chet, or he's going to play his best game against Chet because of that. But I think part of it's going to come down to, if the Spurs are going to win, it's going to come down to their guards playing that good defense. We've talked about how good they are defensively, and it's going to come down to them making threes because the OKC Thunder hit a lot of threes. Their bench hits a lot of threes, so they got to keep up with them, and their guards got to step up and hit those threes. So that's that. I think 7 Spurs and 7, but if the guards step up, they'll get it.
Yeah, I think Thunder in 4. No, I'm joking. Thunder in. I think Thunder in 7. I don't know. I just think Thunder are too deep. I hope it goes 7. That's going to be the most watched series. But don't sleep on the Knicks and Cavaliers. That should still be a good series. I'm a Cavaliers fan. I support Cleveland. We're from Pittsburgh, so like they're the closest to us. I don't like Philly, so I lean more Cavaliers in Ohio. But I hope they can win. I hope they pull it out against the Knicks. But I would say when it comes down to going to the finals, I think I would like Cavaliers to win. I think Cavaliers will win, and then I think Thunder. So it would be Cavaliers versus Thunder in the NBA Finals. What do you guys think? Because we didn't go through the East.
I don't think the Cavs are gonna make it. I just don't think. I don't know. I'm just worried about the defense of the Cavs going against like. Do you really think Shea or Brunson against Harden? I guess isn't as bad, but. I don't know. I just worry that the Cavs are going to be able to stop them. Like Mobley.
I think the biggest thing in that is just OG. Ginobili and see how he does against the Knicks, how he does coming back from an injury. So I think he's probably the key guy. I mean, he's been their best guy when it comes to big men, and obviously Cat's still good. So I think the biggest thing when it came to this Pistons series was Durant. Durant was really good when it came to getting rebounds and kind of out-rebounded both Mobley and Allen. I don't know what about in Game 7. Obviously, they're dominating, so I'm sure not, but I think Cavaliers, they do struggle when it comes to rebounding, and it's kind of weird because they have two big men, and clearly they could just never rebound. But Harden's defense isn't... He has been trying a little bit, but he's still, that type of lazy type of guy. But you think Knicks will pull through, Miles?
I don't know.
Or what do you think the series would go to?
You don't want to say it, but you're going to say it.
Neither of these teams feel like they should be here when I really think about it. Like, I don't really want either of these teams to be here. And I don't feel like I want either of these teams. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to say... I'm going to say New York in 7. This one's going 7. New York's going back to the finals.
Okay.
And they're going to lose.
No shit. It's going west for sure.
I think, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I would not be surprised with you if the Cavs sneak into the finals in a 7-game series. I mean, we saw in the first round they had some adversity against the Raptors. They went to 7 games and they stuck it out. And then you see in this Detroit series, they were down 2-0, won 3 in a row, lost the 6th game, and then they fought back and then they won by like 30. So I mean, I would not be surprised if you would see the Cavs go to the finals. That being said, I don't see either of these teams actually winning the finals. So I mean, it doesn't really matter. I think whoever comes out of this Spurs Thunder series is going to win the finals.
Yeah,
Do we think either of these East teams can even win 2 games against either of these West teams?
I wouldn't be surprised if they got swept by.
I don't know if any of these East teams can even win 2 games against even the Spurs or the Thunder.
No, I don't think either. Just how dominant the Spurs just dominated the Timberwolves, and just how obviously the Thunder played the Lakers, and that was kind of a gimme, but still, I still think it comes out of the West, and for sure, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's a sweep. Which is probably going to be lame for entertainment, but those teams are just way too good. Than the East teams. But another thing I wanted to talk about is LeBron. LeBron is a free agent going into next season. He is. He's a free agent going into next season, and I wanted to just bring it up a little bit earlier. And obviously he's getting up there in age, and it's kind of like, whoa, where does LeBron go? And I think that maybe LeBron doesn't go to the Lakers. He goes one more year. I know this is delusional, but I think I would love to see him back in Cleveland. Please go back to Cleveland for one. You're a free agent. You don't have to. Cleveland doesn't have to trade anyone. Cleveland does not have to trade anyone.
Save us, LeBron. Save us, LeBron James, please.
He's gonna go to Cleveland, and he's gonna sign the vet minimum, which is actually insane.
But
he's
him
actually
at the
eligible
3,
to sign that.
Him at the 3, Spider, the Beard, LeBron, Mobley, Allen. They're the favorite going into these, I think. 100%.
And that would be
the
perfect sign off. But then
that's
also
what I
at the
think
same
too.
time, but at the same time is like, if that's your line, like, do you really want that? Like, because then there's no excuse. Like, you're going out on top.
Yeah.
Like, if you lose, like, there's really no excuse for them if they lose.
And then everyone's just going to call you LaFraud the rest of your entire goddamn
Exactly.
life.
And, like, this is a conference final team, and they're adding the best player of all time.
Yeah.
So if there's
I heard that.
Don't win,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I heard that talk too, and it's kind of like if LeBron loses in the finals, does he even walk away from that? And it's kind of like, does LeBron want to put himself in that situation? I don't know, but that's also a good point. So, I don't know, but I don't think I think he either retires. There's no way he goes back to the Lakers. There's no way.
You don't think?
There's no way. There's no way. He had beef with, like, what's her name? The owner or some shit? Jeannie Buss? He had beef with her. Bro, he's not going back to the Lakers. There's no way.
Yeah, I think he's done with that.
It has nothing to do with Bronny. Like, he shouldn't go back to the Lakers just because of his kid. Like, that's... You either retire, or if you really think you're going to win a championship, if you go to Cleveland or anywhere else, That would be awesome. But I would love to see him in Cleveland. But you bring up a good point that if he does lose in the finals, it's like, oh shit. Well,
It's just like, does it have to be about winning a championship? Like, it should just be about like just going off like with I guess with the biggest like farewell tour, which would be in Cleveland. So
Yeah.
it just so happens to be that situation would come with the most pressure.
Yeah.
well, just how stacked that team is, I feel like it's just like inevitable that they should win the finals. But obviously, you never know. But him going back to the Lakers, it does nothing for him. I mean, it just does nothing for him. Like you're the West is stacked.
I think
Just
it
give Luka
passes
the team.
torch to Luka. Yeah, it passes
Yeah,
the
that's-
torch of not just the team, but of I mean, not that the generational torch hasn't already been passed, because like Shea, the Jokic, Wemby are already like the faces, but like it would do like a more like generational, like, hey, this is the guy.
Yeah.
I feel like, which is possible.
So
That's
do you
my
guys
argument
think?
for him staying on the Lakers.
Do you think LeBron retires, or you think he goes somewhere else?
I think he goes somewhere else for the
I think
minimum.
he gets his retirement tour.
Okay. Moving forward from NBA, I wanted to talk just a little bit of golf. I know we didn't watch it much. We weren't able to watch it. We were actually golfing ourselves, and I almost beat you guys' ass, and I folded.
Yeah, I feel too.
The PGA Championship was this week. Aaron Rodgers finally gets a PGA Tour major. He went -9. He got $3.6 million. He had 750 FedEx Cup points. Rahm also had a good round overall in Philadelphia for the PGA Championships. He went -6. He got second place, and also Alex Smalley also got -6 with his last birdie on 17. Justin Thomas also played really well. He jumped 27 spots on Sunday after shooting a 65. He was -5. Allberg also got a -5, solid round from him. And Aaron Rodgers closed with probably one of the best round among leaders, even when he hit that final putt on 17. And then, yeah, pretty much when it comes to FedEx points, Cameron Young actually finally gets number 1. Scotty Scheffler moves down to number 2. Matt Fitzpatrick is 3, and Colin Morikawa is 4. And then Allberg rounds out number 5. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on just overall golf this season, or PGA Championship or whatnot.
Only one thought is it's insane to see somebody with 2 gloves win a major.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's
Good
crazy.
point.
Also, it is insane. I don't know if you guys saw this. He's the first Englishman to win the PGA Championship in over 100+ years. I'm pretty sure it was 1909 the last time an Englishman won that shit. That is insane. That is crazy. How long? Like, to me, it's just, how the hell did that even happen? You know, like, that's just one of those stats that doesn't make sense in my head.
No, that's
But
a
I mean,
lot.
shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Cameron Young is goated.
Yeah, Cameron Young, he's now in front of Scotty Scheffler. Scotty's always been in the mix this season. He hasn't had too good of a season, but he's still playing well. He's still always in like the top 10 or whatnot. So it's going to be interesting down the stretch, especially with the FedEx Cup championship, and just that Scotty Scheffler isn't dominating this year, and it's kind of up in the air for any golfer right now to grab that number 1 spot and maybe be a better golfer, maybe get that number 1 spot when it comes to world rankings, when it comes to the golfing, industry or whatnot, or however they decide who's the number 1 golfer or whatnot, in the rankings and that. That's pretty much it for this episode. We don't really have much when it comes to F1, I don't think, Logan, do we?
No, nothing happened.
Yeah, nothing
it's
much.
Another break.
Yes.
I think it's summer break.
Yeah.
Oh, another week with no F1. Let's go.
But yeah, that's gonna do it. Make sure you follow I didn't say it before in the beginning. Make sure you follow our Spotify. Make sure you follow. We just made a TikTok as well. We're now posting on YouTube. And a YouTube. We're posting on YouTube if you want to use YouTube instead of Spotify. And we also have a Twitter as well. PGH Takes on Twitter. Miles runs that, and he runs the YouTube as well. We'll see you guys in episode 8. Appreciate you guys watching. Peace.